That's Bloemfontein, I think. FABL. It's got a big airport as well. Yeah, that was Bloemfontein looking at the EFB. So that's all good. Any questions, like always, guys, please fire away. I'll be happy to answer the questions when I can. If I can't, I'll tell you. It's quite cool actually to fly around the place. Last flight I did was in the Middle East. Before that I was flying around Europe, a bit in North America, today in South Africa. But I'd like to fly all the way around the place. It's quite cool. So today I won't play with the pressurization. The other day we flew totally unpressurized that ghost plane with passengers sleeping due to hypoxia. So today I'll keep the pressurization alone. Remember that, Maeve? We are flying at 37,000 feet or something. Cabin altitude. That was quite cool. I've got a joystick actually. It's an ancient joystick. When I say ancient, it's really ancient. It's I had it when I started to use what was that? FS 2002 maybe? Yeah, maybe that's why it was. Or even FS 2000. Was there FS 2000 or maybe 98? Anyway, one of those old versions of Flight Simulator. It's is it? I think Sidewinder or something like that. So it's ancient. I've had it for maybe, I don't know, 15 years, something like that. 10, 15 years. But it's been working. It's been working well. I've got a few buttons, shortcuts and stuff on the joystick itself. So it's doing a good job. It's got like some sort of throttle on the side, so I can fly and have the throttle when I fly manually. So it's doing very well, and it's worked from the old versions of Windows. Even without a CD to install it, it's still working. Every time it's with the USB, so every time you plug the USB, it's working well. So that's yeah, it's doing the job. I don't need anything else at the moment. It would be cool to have the rudder pedals and maybe a better kind of maybe the actual yoke and stuff, but the joystick is doing the trick for the moment, at least. The only thing is the rudder on the joystick. You kind of twist the joystick to do the rudder, which obviously is not natural. It would be nice to have the pedals and steer the aircraft on the ground with the pedals, and also have the brakes on the pedals, because the brakes I've got it on the joystick, but it's just like pressing a button to brake, so it's not really, doesn't feel natural. And if you want to use a bit of rudder, like for, I don't know, an engine failure or or to kind of coordinate a turn on a smaller aircraft. Then you have to twist the joystick. Yeah, here Cytec pedals are, and well, all the controls are quite good. Yeah, I mean, as I've said before, I mean, I've invested a fair amount in Flight Simulator. You know, I've got quite a few add-ons and stuff, and I can't really justify anymore like investing in other things. I mean, the joystick I have is good. So yeah. Yeah, I hear that X-Plane actually is quite good if you are learning to fly. They say the flight characteristics are fairly realistic, and if you can get Cessna 152 for $25, then that's good. I mean, Flight Simulator prepared, the Cessnas are okay, but I've never tried X-Plane, to tell the truth. But if I can rely on what I read in various forums and stuff like that, apparently X-Plane is very good for all the flight characteristics. So possibly it's a good move. But I can't vouch for it myself because I don't have X-Plane. Yeah, well, yeah, I know it's just that as a hobby, you know, there's a family to think of, and there's some sort of pension to think of as well, and things like that, you know, kind of day-to-day living. So I can't just yeah, priorities really. Actually flying quite close to the red line, to the barber pole. If there's a little bit of turbulence or wind shear, it's gonna go straight into the red. But the weather is good. There's no cloud. There shouldn't be any turbulence, so you can fly a little bit faster. It's actually fuel-wise, it still shows 4.1 in Cape Town, so it's not too bad. Top of descent in 300 miles. That's good. Yeah, that's what I need to do, yeah. I'm not really sure how it would work out, but it would be nice. Although at the end of the day, like the 777 is fly-by-wire, so when you actually move the yoke, you don't actually move cables, you just move some sort of it's almost like moving the joystick. It's all like kind of electronic, you know, you don't really move cables. So we just have to connect these cables to the computer somehow, and yeah, it would work out nicely. Yeah, I would need to work out a good explanation indeed. Yeah, that's for sure. Why did you take the aircraft yoke? Just to put it at home on the simulator, yeah. Is that a good excuse? No. I'm not even supposed to take like food or like a bottle of water from the aircraft, so imagine if I take like a part of the aircraft itself. Oh, that would be hilarious. That would be fantastic. You're fired. Oh, the most G's. Probably actually on the light aircraft doing some aerobatics, because on these big aircraft it's you get sometimes some G's when you kind of climb and turn at the same time and kind of speed up a little bit. You kind of feel you kind of push down in your seat a little bit, but I guess the most G's would be on the light aircraft doing some aerobatics. I'm not actually too keen on things like that, you know, aerobatics and stuff. I don't like to do whoop-de-loops. But yeah, probably on the light aircraft, which is cool. Flying inverted and things like that. The 152 what is it called? The Aerobat? I think it's the 152 Aerobat, yeah. Can do quite serious things, like aerobatics wise. You can do good things. It's light. You've got a good engine, and you can go like upside down and doing like loops and all that stuff. It's good fun, but you cannot. You have to go with an empty stomach. But turbulence, nothing horrendous. But yeah, got shook quite a few times, yeah. But nothing like you see like on the newspapers or something, like where like you know, all the bags are flying around the cabin, people get injured and stuff like that. No, that never really happened to me, touch wood. But yeah, quite good bumps. Yeah, I had that, but nothing extreme. And I'm not a big fan of turbulence either. So you just have to kind of try to make things comfortable also for the passengers. You know, we are kind of used to kind of moderate turbulence and things like that. But for someone who's not a frequent flyer, or for people who are a little bit scared of flying, you have to think about them as well. So if it's turbulent, you try to change levels or stuff like that, even if it means you need to descend by like 3, 4, 5,000 feet. I would rather be at a comfortable level rather than being shook around for like for 10-15 minutes or so. No, I'm on the left seat. But to come back to turbulence, the yeah, for us it's not too bad, and for the aircraft it's okay. I mean, you can go into some quite bad turbulence. The aircraft will be okay, and as pilots will be okay. But the main thing in mind is really the passengers and the crew. The crew then can sit down and get strapped in, but for the passengers, you know, it's not great to be in turbulence, as I said, a lot of people are not like frequent flyers, or they're not really happy. Some of them are actually scared. So as soon as it starts, you know, a little bit of turbulence, they're kind of thinking, oh man, what's going on? So you've got to think about them, you know. It's a comfort thing as well. Twitch rumors. Are there Twitch rumors? I didn't know there were rumors. What sort of rumors? I'm intrigued now. I'm really intrigued. Oh yeah, the name, but the name actually of the channel's got nothing to do with like the title, if you want. You know, the name was just a name I was given years ago by friends when I was learning to fly. But yeah, it was just. It's not actually a reflection of what I'm doing. It was just like, as I say, a name I was given years ago when I was learning to fly. So it's, yeah. Some sort of nickname. Actually, is he still on VTC, and is still on? It's fairly quiet. Oh yeah, Fadja Center is still here. Okay. Cool. Near bottom. Yeah, I mean, you have to do things by the book, and you have to do things kind of the proper way. You can't really play around. You're not there to play around with things. You know, you've got to do things seriously, and yeah, that's really the main thing. And you've got to think about the people sitting in the cabin. You know. But yeah, so are there any other rumors? Because the name of the Twitch channel, it was more like a nickname really than a reflection of, you know, of what I'm doing in real. You know, it's, as I said, it was more like a nickname I was given years ago, and I thought, oh, I'll use that as a channel title or channel name. But it's not a reflection of what I'm doing. It's just a nickname. I'm interested in rumors. I love rumors. I love gossip. So if you have any other rumors, please let me know. I'm very keen to hear the rumors. Engine failure? No. Touch wood. Yeah, the odd maybe failures, like some, I don't know, bleed back, kind of, I wouldn't say minor things, but nothing too serious, no. Nothing that will be on the news. That's one way to put it. But from time to time, on the 777 and even on the before on the 737, it's the aircraft are generally reliable. If it's well maintained and everything, usually it's all good. One tricky thing is when the aircraft gets out of maintenance. Sometimes you got to be careful. First of all the switches have been put back into place, and also when they've worked on, I don't know, maybe on the hydraulics or on the electrics or on one engine or something. Sometimes there are little glitches that, you know, they maybe don't put everything back in place properly, and little things can sometimes go wrong. No big things, just little things. But I've had an example recently where, like, I think that worked on the on one of the engine starters, and the starter kind of the starter valve in particular was playing up in the cruise, while there was no reason for the valve to play up in the cruise. I mean, the engine is running normally in the cruise, and then, you know, the starter, like, you know, tells you, oh shit, you know, there's something wrong with me. So, well, why? You know, we're not using the starter at that stage. So little things like that, but nothing. Had once as well a bit of a hydraulic leak after they had played with, I think they had replaced the whole landing gear system or something, or they had worked on the landing gear system, and the first flight after that, just on landing, one of the hydraulics reservoir was leaking. So they had not, one of the pumps had not been fitted properly. Little things. Yeah, you take the passengers for, like, airworthiness. Yeah, but it's a little bit like that, because they can't test the aircraft. The whole setup is the whole airline setup is actually geared towards profit. You know, it's maybe a little bit blunt to say it like this, but that's why it is at the end of the day. And when the aircraft are going into maintenance, obviously the airline is losing money. It's costing money, and the airline is losing money, and they have to do the maintenance as quickly and hopefully as thoroughly as possible. But then they are really in a rush to put the aircraft back on the line so that I can earn money again. So they can't, after maintenance, they can't test the aircraft. They can't take the aircraft for like a 1-2 hour flight empty, and just to see everything is back on normally. So the aircraft has its maintenance check, everything is put back together, and off we go again. That's the rule of the game. So approaching Egnoms. I'm not sure if this guy is gonna let go of us, or if he's gonna keep us all the way to Cape Town. Yeah, somehow that makes you a test pilot. Yeah, but I mean, the guys know what they're doing. I mean, and as I said, if there are problems, it's like really tiny things. It's nothing. It's not as if, you know, they are changing an engine and on the first takeoff afterwards, the engine kind of separates from the wing or something. It's nothing like that. I mean, it's tiny things, so it's no big deal. But it's a job.
323 Johannesburg area.
Yeah, go ahead, please, Springbok 323.
Springbok 323, you're about to leave my airspace, switch to Unicom 122.90, and over landing clear, and bye-bye.
122.8 Springbok 323, thanks for the service, and see you next time, bye-bye. Yeah, Elios is a good example that worked on. I think there had been reports of like hissing noise in the cabin near the doors and stuff, so they had pressurized the aircraft on the ground with the APU, I think, and just to test if the pressurization was working. Then the engineer left the switch on manual. That switch up here, yeah. On this switch, yeah, to manual, and there's only a green light showing here. So I don't know on the aircraft they were if the actual light was on. I'm not sure if it was 800 they were flying on, but during the whole setup they missed the position of the switch. Well, yeah, the position of the switch and the light, because the light, there's a green light showing here. So it's the FO and the captain missed that. There's no annunciation on the master caution on the recall there, so you can happily fly in manual mode without knowing. On the 777, everything shows in the ICAS, you know, in the kind of master caution thingy, on the status of the aircraft. So anything that's out of the normal kind of position shows, but on the 737 it doesn't. So you can be happily flying with the pressurization in manual mode and not realizing it. Same thing with the bags, with the bleed. We can switch that bleed off, that back off, and there's no warning. You can press the recall. There's no warning. Whereas on the 777, if you switch one of the backs off, you'll get the back ICAS message. So. Yeah, but that's the thing. You cannot be complacent, and that's the point of the checklist. And the checklist is a safety tool, and you've got to be on the ball. The checklist is there for a reason, and this checklist discipline is very important. I know it kind of sounds a little bit boring, but that's the rule of the game. Complacency is a killer, like assumption as well. To assume is to make an arse of you and me. Arse you me. Assume. So yeah, never assume, never be complacent. Even when you fly, a Cessna 152 or something, even more so, because there are more traps with the aircraft. It's not automatized. There's no autopilot. There's no master caution, recall, all that stuff. So switching one pack off is no big deal because the right pack is working, so it's providing all it needs for the air conditioning and the pressurization and the air conditioning system, so it's not a problem. But if the two packs quit, then you're into a little bit of trouble. Hey Zup, how you doing? Welcome back. And CC131, welcome back to the stream, mate. No, everything is fly-by-wire, because you've got the TAC as well, which kind of controls the rudder if you have an engine failure and stuff like that. So everything is fly-by-wire. The rudders, yeah, it's just like any normal aircraft. There's not really anything different, and it's not that heavy because there's like a kind of feel to it, you know. It's kind of proportional to what you actually need to put in, but it never gets really heavy because you've got all the hydraulics. And anyway, as I said, you play with the fly-by-wire system, so it's kind of senses how much it kind of recreates a little bit of pressure when it needs to. It's like the same with the controls, but you don't actually pull cables, so if that makes sense. Cool, excellent, enjoy. We're going to Cape Town today. Not very far actually from top of descent, about 100 miles to run, so in 18 minutes. So we'll work on the approach a little bit. Please keep firing the questions away. That keeps me chatting, which is good. At the same time, I'll start looking at the arrival. I've not pulled the charts today for that, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the stream. I had a little bit of trouble with Active Sky Next and pulling out my flight plan today. But Active Sky Next is actually working with the other computer I use, so that's fine. Sure. So Airbus CTV 3250 knots. That's good. And then the 065 hotel points. So hotel is for 8 DME, so when you get a letter there, that's the DME where the point is compared to where it's referring to. So this 065 point here is on radial 065 from the Cape Town VOR, and hotel is 8 DME. So you take the letters A for 1, B2, C3, D4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you have a H, that means it's about 8 DME. So you can cross-check on the approach chart the waypoint. And then it's radar vectors. That's correct. And then the ILS CI01. That's correct. Then on the ground. The guy is dancing in the seat. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't have a webcam. I don't really want to. My face is not that interesting. I only have a webcam on the laptop I use on the side, but obviously don't use the laptop to stream. And yeah, I don't have a webcam. Yeah. Yeah, maybe he's got, if he dances in his seat, maybe he's got problems with his back or something, or maybe hemorrhoids, who knows. Oh no, I'm gonna be slated on for like taking the piss. I'm not dancing on my seat, I'm comfortably sitting, just happy doing my stuff here. So 110.3. No, wrong button. Sorry about the view shift. 110.3 is the ILS frequency. Both sides. There is no NDB as far as I can see. The FAOR is 15.7, so we can set it on standby just in case we need it. The courses are 009, which is very handy when they are stuck on 000. Yeah, Air France, they have a little bit of red wine while flying with the meal. It's very nice, very sophisticated. Yeah, as he dances, he moves the, you know, the control column and kind of goes left and right, up and down. I'm having the time of my life. I'm gonna get a content ID for singing that music. Yeah. How old am I? Yeah, I can say that I'm gonna be 39, and my first name is Fred. That's not a secret, really. All right. Minimum's 350. What's that 350? Actually, I've got shots. Oh, find those old charts. The time of my life. Sorry, it's really bad. Music-wise, is not really a great reference. Yeah, 350, fantastic. And I never did it before. Yes, 350. It's much quicker on the aircraft on the simulator. It takes forever to set the decision altitude. And if the decision altitude is like 2,000, 3,000 feet, if it's a high elevation airport, you spend like 5 minutes setting that thing. Whereas on the aircraft it goes much quicker. Yeah, that's correct, Maeve. It's, I'm Fred. No, I've got to stop singing, because once I start like getting songs in my head like this, then it doesn't go away, you know. So yeah, I'll stop right now. What got me into flying? This thing actually. This very thing that we are looking at the moment. That's really what got me into flying, but not at an early stage. I mean, I was kind of always a little bit interested, but nothing. I was not like saying, oh, when I'm like, you know, an adult, I'll be flying or something. No, it was not like that. I mean, I was interested, but nothing really. But not that much more than just, you know, a little bit. And but then, yeah, I go into a little bit of simulation. I go like as a gift voucher once going into a simulator. It was a turboprop simulator, but like a kind of real thing, you know. Done. I was one of these BAE ATP aircraft, so that was like a good simulator. Then also got a gift voucher for like a PPL lesson, you know, just like a discovery first flight lesson, and then got hooked and started doing PPL and really took it from there and did the theory exams and step by step. Yeah, but without the QUE, just the C at the end. That's it. I'm singing again. I've got to stop singing. 4.1, 60.1. So let's say 64.1. Let's say 64. Flap 30. Plus 5. What is the weather? The weather. In fact, it's 310 degrees at 4 knots, varying 260 to 020 degrees, Cavoke 21 degrees 1013. Fantastic. 1013. Can preset it. I always forget something now on the 737 when we set up the approach. I've got the ILS there, I've got the courses which we don't have to set on the 777. I've got the VRF, I've got the minimums, I've got the QNH preset. Well, no, I think that's it. The FMC set. I didn't set the forecast. What's the transition level there? 7.5, so 8.5. I'm just gonna put a couple of wins in here if I can find them decent. 300. I know. Da da do, da da do, da ding 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 ding. Yeah, fantastic. 29 in the prime age. Yeah, climbing descending turns is good. The key is to trim. Is always to trim. Once you're in trim, then you're good. But trimming is easy because you feel, above all on a Cessna 152, you feel the forces. So as soon as the aircraft is trimmed out properly, then you let go, and it's almost like being on autopilot in a sense. So that's quite good. I love like flying little aircraft like this. I'm not flying them anymore, but I really like it. That's good fun. That's actually that's real flying for me. It's real flying. These large aircraft is just you're operating, you know, a large aircraft. You're a pilot, but you're also like some sort of operator. But like a Cessna is, or Piper Cherokee or something. That's the real flying, and I actually miss that, to tell the truth. La da dee da da da, da da dee 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 dee. Oh no, it's terrible, man. Da da dee da da da. I was thinking maybe of putting some music on the stream, but I have to look into that. I saw that thing called Monster Cat, but I think you need a license and you need to be a well recognized streamer to get that license. So I'm not a well recognized streamer. I'm an amateur, not popular at all. The yaw control for simming don't have the back pressure, so you can feel to trim. Yeah, no, that's the thing. You can't feel anything. So I know when I fly, like sometimes fly like the 172 in the simulator, just kind of let go of the control and see if the nose or comes down or comes up, and you kind of more or less know like this if you're in trim, but there's no way to feel. Obviously there's no feedback. That's why in the 777 and the in particular on the YouTube channel videos, you can see in the videos I always use the fly-by-wire trim indication on the 777 with the PMDG. That indication is not there on the real aircraft, but in the simulator I like to use it because at least it shows you where your trim is, because as you pointed out, you don't feel anything. So, whereas on the real aircraft, even though it's fly-by-wire, you've got like some sort of feedback and you feel the forces, but in the simulator you can't. So